folks. Going to start off with some butter. Get some butter and some grated Parmesan cheese. And we're going to take our deep dish pan and we're going to butter the fuck out of that thing. We're going to cover it completely with butter. You may be wondering how much butter to put in here. Well, I think I used about half a stick of butter, maybe a little less. You want it to look like this when you're done with it. So you want it completely covered because you're going to put cheese in there and that butter is going to act like glue. I didn't have any grated cheese, so I had to take the shreds that I had and use a little Cuisinart type dealy thing here to chop them up and get them fine enough. You can see there, it's a little bit bigger than grated there, but it worked out okay in the end anyway. So once you got your material sufficient size, then you're going to start throwing it on the pizza pan, the deep dish. You're going to do it just like you were flouring a cake pan. You know, you put some in there, you shake it around a little bit, you tap it around. You get it spread out nice and uniformly around the end. This is going to stick to the outside crust of your pizza and give it a really good caramelized, tasty shell. So you could do more, but I wouldn't do less than this. How do we make the pizza dough? Well, we're just going to make a very simple bread dough. We're going to use the following ingredients. Some all-purpose flour, some extra virgin olive oil, about 2 tablespoons of that, tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and a couple an ounce of active dry yeast. About 3.5, 4 cups of flour, and then you're going to whisk it in a little bit at a time into some warm water that you've put in there. You're going to use about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of water. Once you get some of it beat in, then you can switch to a spoon to finish wetting the flour and get the flour all wet. You're going to work it up to a ball like this. Okay, that's our dough's ready to go in. We're going to let it proof at least an hour. So what I did here is cover it with some plastic wrap to keep it from drying out. And I put it back in my oven. I'm going to put it in my oven and let it proof up. Once it came out, I worked it into 2 separate balls. We're going to use one for the bottom crust and one for the top crust, because we're making a deep dish here, folks. So we spread out the pizza dough on top of that cheese that we've prepared in there, and kind of worked up the edges up, get it all situated in the pan there. Remember, this is a deep dish, so we're going to have to come up some of the sides. Once we got the dough formed the way we want, then we're going to start stuffing this puppy. There you go. See, we pulled it all the way up to the sides. We're going to put mozzarella down in this baby. Lots of mozzarella. Couple pounds of it. Here you see me adding the mozzarella cheese. This is to taste. I mean, you want to I want to have at least a pound of cheese in there, maybe even more. The more you put in there, the more gooey and cheesy it is when you slice it up and pull it out. And once we got that in, we're going to stick our second layer of dough on there. Once we got that on there, we're going to work it down a little bit. We're going to pinch some holes in the top so that as it cooks, the moisture has a way to escape so it doesn't puff up and blow up on you. Excuse me. Now let's work on what to put on top of this puppy. What I did is I used some garlic powder, some onion powder, some tomato sauce, some oregano, basil. I had some Italian sausage and some green and red bell peppers that were left over in the icebox, along with some black olives. A good thing to do on a lot of pizza builds, man, is just use whatever's in your icebox. Use that shit up. Here you see we're putting our sauce together. I just used plain ass old tomato sauce, and then I start sprinkling in my spices, my garlic, my oregano, my uh, other ingredients. I think I put garlic, oregano, and what's that thing called? Basil. I put some of that in there, and I think some minced onions. Then I swirl it all together here, so it's nice and wet. Then I start laying out my peppers on top. We got green and red peppers here that we used. Then I put me some olives on there. I could have put an extra batch of cheese on top, but I wound up at the end. I put some extra Parmesan on top. But the next thing I do, I'm arranging my toppings on the thing. Then I'm gonna start putting my meat on there, my Italian sausage. Just pinch off little globules of it and put it wherever you think it needs it on there. Remember, this is going to be like a deep pie. That crust is going to rise up out of that pan a good half inch or so. So just pile it on there as much as you'd like. I think that's about a pound of sausage I had. And then I finished it off with some of that leftover grated Parmesan cheese that I've had. And now she's getting ready to go into the oven. Go ahead and preheat your oven. I think it's to 475. Get your oven going, get nice and hot. And this bake for 30 minutes. Easy as that. 475 degrees Fahrenheit. And after you've done that, this is what it looks like. Deep dish pizza. There's a good shot. See how the sides have caramelized. That Parmesan cheese has turned a golden brown. There's an even better shot of it, minus the shadow. Here's some good food porn for you. Check that out. Now that is food porn. That thing was delicious. There is. So you can see the cheese oozing out of it. I guarantee you serve this along with a nice dark beer or an IPA from your local brewery, and you got a hit. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, here's where you can find us. We appreciate any comments you do and suggestions of other foods that you'd like to see. Let us know. Until next time, take care. Fight the good fight. I'm out of here.